Good morning, you're watching Sabha TV. This is Breakfast News. I'm Rajat Kane. Let's have a look at the top headlines. US drops mother of all bombs on IS tunnel complex in Afghanistan. President Hamid Karzai says his country being misused for testing dangerous weapons. '127th birth anniversary of Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar tribute function in Parliament complex. Prime Minister in Nagpur to launch initiatives to further digital payments revolution. India once again seeks consular access to meet Kulbhushan Jadhav for the 14th time, says there is no knowledge of his current whereabouts in Pakistan. Non-bailable warrant against Zakir Naik by Mumbai court in connection with money laundering case. This after he failed to present himself before the Enforcement Directorate. And NASA scientists say Saturn's ice-crusted moon and Saturns may now be the single best place to look for life beyond Earth. A top focus. The US military last evening dropped mother of all bombs on tunnel complex used by Islamic State militants in Afghanistan. The strike follows last week's death of US Special Forces soldier fighting IS here. President Donald Trump called it another successful job. This is the first time this powerful bomb has been used in the battlefield.
The mother of all bombs. America's most lethal non-nuclear bomb. 30 feet long, weighing close to 10,000 kilograms. It is technically called GBU-43B Massive Ordnance Air Blast Bomb. On Thursday evening, US dropped this bomb in Afghanistan on Islamic State targets in Achin district in Nangarhar province. It is the first time this type of weapon has been used in battle.
Very, very proud of the people. Really another successful job. We're very, very proud of our military. Just like we're proud of the folks in this room, we are so proud of our military, and it was another successful event.
The Achin district is the primary center of IS activity in Afghanistan. It was here that a US Army Special Forces soldier was killed fighting the terror group on Saturday. The extent of the damage and whether anyone was killed is not yet clear. The US military is currently conducting an assessment. Local sources said that the explosion was so powerful it was heard in 2 neighboring districts.
We targeted a system of tunnels and caves that ISIS fighters used to move around freely, making it easier for them to target US military advisors and Afghan forces in the area. The United States takes the fight against ISIS very seriously, and in order to defeat the group, we must deny them operational space, which we did. The United States took all precautions necessary to prevent civilian casualties and collateral damage as a result of the operation.
After the strike, Republicans were quick to voice their support. Former President of Afghanistan, Hamid Karzai, was among the first to condemn the attack, saying, "This is not the war on terror, but the inhuman and most brutal misuse of our country as a testing ground for new and dangerous weapons," adding, "It is upon us, Afghans, to stop the USA." There are about 8,400 US troops in Afghanistan, and they regularly perform counter-terrorism operations against Islamic State. Besides that, NATO-led forces also train, advise and assist the Afghan army and police. While IS is identified primarily with its presence in Iraq and Syria, US has long expressed concern about a growing presence in Afghanistan. The Trump administration's policy towards Afghanistan remains under consideration, but the use of this weapon sends a powerful signal that IS is the top of the administration's target list, wherever its offshoots may be found. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Today is 127th birth anniversary of Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar. A function was held at the Parliament lawns to mark the occasion. The Social Justice and Empowerment Ministry organized the function to pay the floral tribute to the father of Constitution. President, Vice President, Prime Minister, Lok Sabha Speaker, Union Ministers and other dignitaries offered floral tributes. A function to pay floral tribute to him was also held in the central hall of the Parliament House, where Dr. Ambedkar's portrait is put up. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be in Nagpur today on the occasion of 127th birth anniversary of Dr. Ambedkar. Prime Minister will launch several crucial initiatives there to further the digital payments revolution in India. This includes the launch of Bhim Aadhaar platform for merchants, cashback and referral bonus schemes for Bhim, and declaring about 75 townships going less cash. Bhim Aadhaar will enable every Indian citizen to pay digitally using their biometric data, like the thumb impression on the merchant's biometric enabled device, which could be a smartphone having a biometric reader. Besides, Prime Minister Modi will also present awards to mega draw winners of Lucky Grahak Yojana and Digidhan Vyapar Yojana. In a series of tweets, Prime Minister Modi said that he will pray at Diksha Bhumi Nagpur, a holy spot closely associated with Dr. Ambedkar. He said his government is unwavering in its effort towards creating a strong, prosperous, inclusive India of Ambedkar's dreams. Prime Minister is also inaugurate a series of development projects including IIT, IIMs, AIMS and launch of Koradi Thermal Power Station. Later, he'll also address a public meeting. Now, results were declared on Thursday for 10 assembly constituencies in the states of Delhi, Karnataka, West Bengal, Rajasthan, Himachal, Assam, Madhya Pradesh and Jharkhand. While the big winner was BJP winning 5 out of 10 seats, Congress retained its stronghold in Karnataka, winning both the seats and retaining Ater seat of Madhya Pradesh in a close contest.
Celebration time for the BJP as the party registered a thumping win in the by-polls in the Rajouri Garden Assembly constituency in Delhi. The ruling Aam Aadmi Party in Delhi, however, suffered a humiliating defeat with its candidate Harjeet Singh losing his deposit. The BJP SAD joint candidate Manjinder Singh Sirsa won over 50% of the votes.
उनकी छवि जो है जनता में खराब है और उन्होंने अपनी छवि पूरी बिगाड़ दी है कि इसलिए कि जो भी वायदे किए थे उन्होंने नहीं पूरे किए और एक तरफ भारतीय जनता पार्टी है जो लोगों के लिए काम करती है, प्रदेश के विकास के लिए काम करती है, देश के विकास के लिए करती है और जनता के लिए जो काम करना चाहिए उसके लिए लगी रहती है। ऐसे में जनता का पूरा भरोसा भारतीय जनता पार्टी में और रिजल्ट भी इस चीज को दर्शाता है।
The BJP's winning streak continued in Assam, Himachal Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan. In Assam, BJP candidate Ranoj Pegu won the Dhemaji Assembly seat, defeating his nearest Congress rival Babul Sonowal by 9,285 votes. In Dholpur, BJP's Shobha Rani Khushwaha defeated Congress's Banwari Lal Sharma by around 39,000 votes. BJP candidate Dr. Anil Dhiman won the Bhoranj Assembly seat in Himachal Pradesh, defeating Pramila Devi of the Congress by 8,290 votes. In Madhya Pradesh also, the BJP candidate Shiv Narayan Singh won the Bandhavgarh Assembly seat, defeating rival Congress by a margin of over 25,000 votes. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has hailed BJP's impressive performance in the by-polls and congratulated the party workers in a Twitter message. The Congress, however, retained its hold in Karnataka, winning the Nanjangud and Gundlupet assembly seats. Party candidate Kalale N. Keshav Murthy defeated his nearest rival V. Srinivas Prasad of BJP by over 21,000 votes in Nanjangud, while in Gundlupet, its candidate Geeta Mahadev Prasad won against BJP's C.S. Niranjan Kumar by over 10,000 votes. With the assembly elections slated to be held in about a year, it was a high-stakes battle for both the BJP and Congress in Karnataka.
We are extremely happy with the results of 2 by-elections and I want to thank the voters of 2 constituencies who stood with the Congress party, they supported the Congress party, ultimately made us to win in the elections. Here in Karnataka, in these 2 by-elections, these EVMs are not tampered.
And we will go on study in both the constituencies, in each booth, what has all happened, and we will study, and it will not affect where we are having a target of 150 seats in future election. 2018. That will not affect all these things.
In West Bengal, the ruling Trinamool Congress candidate Chandrama Bhattacharya won the Kanthi Dakshin Assembly seat by 42,526 votes. The JMM retained the Littipara Assembly seat in Jharkhand, defeating ruling BJP. By-elections were held to the 10 assembly constituencies on Sunday. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Now let's listen to various political reactions on the recent by-poll results.
आम आदमी पार्टी पूरी तरह से एक्सपोज हो चुकी है। जनता जान चुकी है ये केवल खोखले वायदे करते हैं, बड़ी बड़ी बातें करते हैं और सत्ता में आने के बाद करके नहीं दिखाते, केवल आरोप लगाते हैं। इनके आधे से ज़्यादा नेता भ्रष्टाचार के आरोपों से नहीं गिरे बल्कि उनके ऊपर केस भी दर्ज हो चुके हैं। इसलिए अरविंद केजरीवाल जी को अब ये समझना मुश्किल हो गया है कि केवल झूठ से राजनीति नहीं चलती, काम करने से राजनीति चलती है। उन्होंने काम नहीं किया तो लोगों ने उनको बाहर का रास्ता दिखाया है। ये दिल्ली का केवल उपचुनाव हम नहीं जीते, हम एमसीडी के चुनाव भी जीतने वाले हैं।
उम्मीद यही कर रहे हैं कि रजौरी गार्डन के लोगों ने हमारे पक्ष में मत दिया है, भारतीय जनता पार्टी अकाली दल को जिताया है।
और इस चुनाव का जो असर होगा वो क्या एमसीडी के चुनाव पर पड़ेगा?
बिल्कुल, एमसीडी के चुनाव का ये सेमीफाइनल ही होगा और यही मत जो है यही अकाली दल बीजेपी की इसी तरह एमसीडी के अंदर भी जीत होगी।
आज वहां आम आदमी पार्टी तीसरे नंबर पर है और जमानत जब्त होने के करीब है। तो ये जो इतना अहंकार था, कांग्रेस पार्टी ने प्रयास किया लेकिन जितना अच्छा होना चाहिए था हम नहीं कर पाए। मैं इसको स्वीकार करता हूं और मैं जो जीत हुई है उसमें सिरसा जी को मुबारकबाद देता हूं। लेकिन जिस तरीके से कांग्रेस ने अपना ग्राफ बढ़ाया है उससे लगता है कि आम आदमी पार्टी की नाकामियों को लोग अब दिल्ली में पूरी तरह समझने लगे हैं।
चुनावी राजनीति में हार और जीत एक हिस्सा है। कभी भाजपा हारती थी, कभी जीत गई, कभी कांग्रेस जीता करती थी, कभी हार गई। तो आम आदमी पार्टी कभी बहुत जीती थी, कभी हार गई। तो हार और जीत चुनावी राजनीति का एक हिस्सा है, लेकिन पार्टी सामूहिक तौर पर लड़ती है और हार और जीत की जिम्मेदारी भी सामूहिक होती है। और आवश्यकता है पार्टी को गंभीरता से, ईमानदारी से हार और जीत के कारणों का विश्लेषण करने की और आत्ममंथन करने की।
A dismal 2% turnout was recorded at 38 polling stations in Srinagar Lok Sabha constituency during the by-poll on Thursday, making it lowest percentage in the state's history. According to officials, only 709 voters, the total 34,169 registered voters, cast their votes across all the polling stations. No votes are polled in Khan Sahib Assembly segment, while only 3 votes were cast in Budgam segment and 84 in Charare Sharif segment. From 7 a.m. to 4 p.m., Birwa segment recorded 362 votes and Chadura saw just 261 people casting their votes. The overall percentage in the entire constituency was 7.3%, which lowered Sunday's polling at 7.14%. Repolling was conducted after 8 people were killed in large-scale violence during polling on Sunday. National Conference leader Farooq Abdullah and ruling PDP's Nazir Ahmed Khan are among 9 candidates in fray in the constituency. The by-poll results will be declared tomorrow.
आपसे आज यहाँ पर रिपोल हुआ। सुबह 7 बजे रिपोल शुरू हुआ और शाम 4 बजे खत्म हुआ। इसमें कुल 709 लोगों ने आज वोट का इस्तेमाल किया। करीब 2% बनता है ये हमारा जो आज के वोटर्स थे उसके हिसाब से।
India has once again sought consular access from Pakistan to meet Kulbhushan Jadhav. Jadhav, an Indian citizen, has been awarded death sentence for alleged espionage in Pakistan. Replying to media queries, External Affairs Ministry spokesperson Gopal Bagle said that without getting consular access, it cannot ascertain how Jadhav reached Pakistan. The MEA spokesperson also said Pakistan should not put any precondition for the consular access. He said India is working sincerely to ensure release of Jadhav. Asked whether India is aware about the current location of Jadhav in Pakistan, he said India has no knowledge of his whereabouts.
We are obviously in touch with Pakistan through our High Commission, and we are pursuing this matter through our High Commission right now. कि ये जो लक्ष्य हमने अपने सामने रखा है, देश की भावनाओं और देश की लीडरशिप की जो भावनाएं हैं जो इसमें जुड़ी हुई हैं, उसके ध्यान में जो हमने ये लक्ष्य अपने सामने रखा है उसको प्राप्त करने के लिए हम प्रयासरत हैं।
Time for a very short break. More news on the other side.
St. Thomas Basilica, one of the world's 3 churches that is built over the Tomb of Apostles. St. Thomas was one of the 12 apostles of Jesus Christ who brought Christianity to India. With an underground tomb where the remains of St. Thomas are laid, this magnificent basilica is of Gothic architecture. The stained glass of the church depicts some divine moments of St. Thomas's life. In 2006, this church was conferred with the status of national shrine.
Welcome back. Vice President Mohammad Hamid Ansari delivered first Muhammad Quli Qutb Shah Memorial Lecture at Maulana Azad National Urdu University in Hyderabad on Thursday. Addressing the audience, the Vice President said that Muhammad Quli Qutb Shah occupied a place in our history and his personality and contributions are studied with much more benefit by one interested in the evolution of architecture, language and culture. Governor of Telangana ESL Narasimhan, the Deputy Chief Minister of Telangana Muhammad Mahmood Ali, the Vice Chancellor of MANUU, Muhammad Aslam Parvez and other dignitaries were also present on the occasion.
History records that he was Epicurean by disposition with amorous propensities, and this is amply reflected in his poetry. A contemporary of Tulsidas, Mirabai and Surdas, his poetry is bound to earth and revels in the universality of love and mystic experiences. It is intensely Indian and secular in its moods.
The Prime Minister Modi has said there was no need for women to change her name on the passport after marriage or divorce. He also said that women could get travel documents giving the names of either of her parents. The Prime Minister said while addressing a 50th anniversary of Indian Merchant Chamber in Mumbai over a video link. Modi said his government was committed to empowering women and it's his priority to register the homes being constructed under Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana in the name of women. The government has also decided to accord women the first right in all schemes by executed by them.
पासपोर्ट के नियमों में भी एक बड़ा महत्वपूर्ण बदलाव किया गया है। अब महिला को अपनी शादी का या तलाक का सर्टिफिकेट देना जरूरी नहीं होगा। ये उसकी इच्छा पर होगा कि वो पासपोर्ट में अपने पिता का नाम लिखवाए या फिर मां का। सरकार हर स्तर पर, हर लेवल पर प्रयास कर रही है कि महिलाएं नौकरी के लिए, स्वरोजगार के लिए स्वयं होकर के आगे आए।
A non-bailable warrant was issued by a court in Mumbai on Thursday for the arrest of controversial Islamic preacher Zakir Naik. The court verdict is in connection with the money laundering case against him. The warrant was issued after Naik failed to present himself before the Enforcement Directorate. The Enforcement Directorate claimed before the court that they had sent 4 summons to Naik, to which there has been no response thus far. The ED registered a criminal case against Naik and others last December after taking cognizance of an NIA complaint under the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act, promoting enmity between the groups on religious and racial grounds and also accumulating funds in an illegal way for his NGO, the Islamic Research Foundation. He is said to have been inspiration behind last July's terror attack on an upscale cafe in Dhaka. The Enforcement Directorate may now seek letters rogatory, letters of request from court in Saudi Arabia for judicial assistance in getting Naik back home for interrogation. Naik is currently believed to be staying in Saudi Arabia. The Supreme Court on Thursday pulled up Tamil Nadu government over farmer suicide and said it cannot leave the poverty-stricken agriculturists at the mercy of their fate. The bench said, and I quote, when there are so many deaths of the farmers in the state of Tamil Nadu, it becomes obligatory on the part of state to express concern and sensitivities to do the needful and not allow the poverty-stricken farmers to resign to their fate or leave the downtrodden and the poor to yield the idea of fatalism. The state as a guardian is required to see how to solve these problems or to meet the problems by taking curative measures, treating it as a natural disaster. Silence is not the answer. The bench headed by Justice Deepak Mishra issued notice to the state government and sought its response within 2 weeks on the plea filed by Tamil Nadu Centre for Public Interest Litigation. It also appointed advocate Gopal Shankar Narayanan as amicus curiae to assist it in the case. Tamil Nadu farmers have been demanding a drought relief package of Rs 40,000 crore, farm loan waiver and setting up Kaveri Management Board by the centre. Officials of Kheri district in India and Kanchanpur in Nepal have agreed to joint survey of the boundaries to resolve the border dispute. An agreement was signed by the officials of the two countries at a meeting on Thursday in Nepal. The survey of the entire border between Kheri in Uttar Pradesh and adjoining areas of Nepal will be conducted by a joint survey team and would be completed by June. After ascertaining the boundaries through a GPS survey, construction and repair works over the missing and damaged border pillars would be carried out following Ordune formula. Survey of the border in Kheri would commence from pillar number 200 in Basahi, where a violent protest by Nepalese citizens took place on March 9th, resulting in injuries to 9 SSB Jawans and 27 Basahi villagers. At a meeting of officials of both the sides agreed to maintain mutual harmony and cooperation and check recurrence of such incidents. At least 97 migrants, African migrants, are missing after the boat sank off the Libyan coast. A total of 23 migrants were rescued around 10 kilometers of the coast of Tripoli. The boat's hull was completely destroyed and rescue migrants were found clinging to a floating device. According to reports, 15 women and 5 children are among those still missing. Rescue operations are continuing, but chances of finding more survivors are slim. According to International Organization for Migration, at least 590 migrants have died or have gone missing along the Libyan coast so far this year. As per the UN High Commissioner for Refugees, more than 24,000 migrants arrived in Italy from Libya during the first 3 months of the year, up from 18,000 in the same period last year.
I think to go in Italia, we will see. But when we take the seat, God don't permit everybody to go in Italia. We are 120 person, 120, but now we are 22 person. 8 person died in this water. And I wanna greet the policeman of Libya to save house, the 22 person. Without them, we cannot be here today.
Top Indian shuttlers PV Sindhu, B. Sai Praneeth and Kadambi Shrikant have reached the quarterfinals of Singapore Open Badminton Super Series. Olympic silver medalist Sandhu defeat Indonesia's Fitriani 19-21, 21-17 and 21-8 in the pre-quarterfinal match. She'll take on Spain's Carolina Marin in quarterfinal clash. In men's single, B. Sai Praneeth defeated China's Kyo Bin 21-15, 21-23 and 21-16, while Kidambi Shrikant overcame Ehsan Maulana Mustafa of Indonesia in thrilling match which he won 18-21, 21-19 and 22-20. Mixed doubles pair of Ashwini Ponappa and B. Sumit Reddy also entered quarterfinals after beating Korea's Korean pair of Jae Hwan Kim and Lee So-hee in 3 games. Kolkata Knight Riders ended Kings 11 Punjab's winning run in this year's IPL by beating them by 8 wickets at the Eden Garden in Kolkata on Thursday. Kolkata side overhauled the 171 target in 16.3 overs thanks to an unbeaten half-century by captain Gautam Gambhir. Gambhir struck 72 off 49 balls to lead his team to an easy win in the first game of the tournament. He was helped by an all-round performance by Sunil Narine, who scored 37 runs and bowled an economical spell, picking up 1 wicket. Earlier put into bat first, Punjab side made 170 for 9 in the 20 overs. Umesh Yadav picked up 4 wickets for the Kolkata Knight Riders. Now, according to NASA, scientists, ice plumes shooting into space from Saturn's ocean-bearing moon Enceladus contain hydrogen from a hydrothermal vents. It's believed by scientific fraternity that it can provide an environment after Earth leading to life. Similar conditions in which hot rocks meet ocean waters may have been the cradle for appearance of the microbial life on Earth more than 4 billion years ago. The discovery was made using NASA's Cassini spacecraft, which in September will end 13-year mission exploring Saturn and its entourage of 62 known moons. The detection of molecular hydrogen occurred in October 2015 during Cassini's last pass through Enceladus plumes. Scientists also say Jupiter's moon Europa may also have global ocean engulfing it, and that it would have the ingredients thought to be necessary for life.
The new finding is finding hydrogen coming from the plume of Enceladus, and the fact that it could support potentially microbes with energy on the seafloor of Enceladus. Now, this finding is the result of 12 years of Cassini investigations, and it really represents a capstone finding for the mission, because we now know that Enceladus has almost all of the ingredients that you would need to support life as we know it on Earth.
That's why now keep watching Rajya Sabha TV for more. Thank you.